The Americans have said it over and over and over again. They're here to save the Chinese people from the Chinese government. But the Chinese people are just not listening. What the hell's the matter with you guys? Don't you know that they love you? They just don't love your government. Don't you know that they're just doing the best that they can for you? Don't you know that they know better what's best for you than you know yourself? What's the matter with you guys? Like, get with the program, eh? Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. Yes, it's all about the Western countries, not just America. The Western countries saving you Chinese people, because we all know that you need saving. You need better infrastructure. You need more high-speed trains. You need more subways. You need better roads. You need better homes. You need all of the things. You need parks. Better parks. You need all of the things that you're not getting from your government, and the Western world has all of these things. Well, maybe not the high-speed trains or the subways or the good roads. They don't even have the parks. Well, the parks, they have the parks, but they're full of homeless drug addicts. Oh man. Okay, well, let's just skip by this part. Don't listen to this part. They keep telling you they love you, but they just don't like your authoritarian government, the dictatorship, the people that, well, they brought 800 million people out of poverty in the last 20 years or so, when the Americans are, well, just a second, I'll be right back. Okay, I got one here for you. They want to get rid of your government, so it's going to make your country better, like Iraq? No, let's forget about that one. How about Syria? No. No. Or Afghanistan? No. Oh, man. Yeah, they had a whole bunch of coups and attempted coups too, where they changed the government because it wasn't a good government for those people either, and now those places are, oh my goodness. Just a second. I'm having a hard time getting this video out. I'll be right back again. But you gotta believe them, because, like, you know, they're the richest countries in the world. You've got the United States, you got Canada and UK and Australia and New Zealand, and, you know, all of these countries telling you the same thing. So obviously, why would they lie to you? Why would they tell you that, you know, they love you? I do find it strange that all of these countries are basically dominated by Anglo-Saxon. Yes, a white government, just like Gweilo 60. And of course, we know better. We know everything. Everything in the world. We are the richest people in the world. We have the richest countries in the world. Our streets are paved with gold. Well, not really. They're potholed. But I still like to go on a high-speed train through the Canadian Rocky Mountains, but they just don't have it yet. But that doesn't matter. We have hamburgers and Putin. But let's get back to this. Like, all of these governments are telling you the same thing. You know, so, like, if everybody's saying the same thing, it's got to be true. Mainstream media is saying the same thing. Even California clowns are saying the same thing. So, like, well, we love you, they say. We love you, Chinese people, but we just don't like your government. So why don't you listen to them? What the hell's the matter with you people? Sure, they put tariffs on your products, you know, so they're more expensive and you don't make as much money as you could. Sure, they surround your country with military bases, and sure, they badmouth your country in the media, and you know, they won't sell you high-tech products because they don't like the competition. They sanction your high-tech companies like Huawei and ZTE. They actually even arrest, you know, the chief financial officer of Huawei in Canada for the Americans, but she was, for something that she might have done in Hong Kong against a bank from the UK, with sanctions from America to Iran. But they're only looking out for your best interest, because if they didn't do that, then how would that affect the Chinese people? I'm not quite sure. But then, you see, I don't know all of the facts. The only reason they blamed you for COVID-19 is because they want you to clean up your wet markets. You know, those markets that you and all of the Asian countries and Southeast Asian countries have been buying their groceries in for 1,000 years. So they want to change that to Superstore, Walmart, Fry's and Kroger's, and yeah, but it's all for your benefit. It's got nothing to do with them, because they want to do things. They want to love you. They want to do things that makes your life better, and they don't care if it makes their lives worse. Just as long as it can make your life better, they're in for that. You know, they're thinking about you guys. They want to save you from the crime. You know, they don't want the police shooting you. They don't want you know, gang violence or mass shootings in China. Oh shit, that's in the States. Okay, they don't want rampant homelessness and tent cities in their parks. Oh, just a second. Check this out, guys. It's a pretty nice place. Oh, and this is my new buddy. He's helping me because he looks smart. They don't want, you know, the drug addicts. They don't want you to be overrun by drug addicts and tent cities and homelessness and poverty and all of those things. So if you listen to them, because they know exactly how to run a country and to have great infrastructure, they high rises and parks and subways and state-of-the-art airports and high-speed trains. Did I say high-speed trains? I don't know. You know, all of the things, the great roads, you know, all of the things that you need as a society to have a great life. They want you to be free. And if you're not a democratic country, there's no way that you can be free, because you don't have all the amenities that you need to be free. And that's why they want to help you get out of the predicament that you got yourself into, because you have no idea how the hell you got there, how the hell you're going to get out of it, and you're just a pawn to the Chinese Communist government, because they're making your life miserable by giving you they're making your life miserable by giving you all these amenities to make your life better, but you only think your life is better. It's really not. Taking a subway downtown for 3 RMB is not making your life better. Maybe it's make your life easier. Well, you don't have to spend that much money to go downtown. It's sort of nice, it's air conditioned, but that's beside the point. It's better to do it on a New York subway where there's people defecating in the hallways. And well, let's not talk about that, because that's just a small minority of the people in New York City. New York City is a good place. It's got a reputation for being so friendly. Well, maybe it doesn't, but well, we could go to California. Oh, but then there's the South Central Los Angeles and places like that that are gang infested, and then all along the West Coast you've got the homeless, like tent cities and discontent cities and drugs and Okay, well, now I'm confused again. I'll be right back. I think by now you can understand that I'm stringing you a line. You can understand that China's probably doing a lot of the things that they should be doing, making life better, less poverty, beautiful parks, infrastructure, high-rise buildings that the West says, oh, they're going to fall down. You see, it's all of that rhetoric and bullshit that they throw at you, that they figured that, you know, the people that maybe go as far as a 7-Eleven, never owned a passport, they have a ticket to vote because they're an American, a Canadian, a UK citizen, they'll bite on this crap. But as people get more education, there's more social media, people get more understanding about what's going on around in the world, a lot more people are seeing that this is just a lot of bullshit. It's a bully tactic. It's the way that the West has dealt with, yes, I'm going to tell you, non-white countries around the world for basically a century or more. You know, from the slaves of Africa to the way they deal with the Central and South Americans, the Mexicans, the Chinese, the way they've dealt with, well, you know, Russia. There's an anomaly, eh? That's a basically white country, but they've got that damn communist name attached to it. So how can they be real people? Well, they're not. They've been ostracized by the Western world also. But you can see where all of this rhetoric doesn't make a lot of sense, because they're trying to save you from yourselves, but your life now is better than their life, I think, has ever been. I've been living in this country for 18 years now, coming on 18 years in August. And I can basically guarantee you that you live in China, in Nanning, Guangxi Autonomous Region, China, it's the bomb. And drink Li Qian beer, it's the bomb too. Then you're going to have a better life than you do on Vancouver Island, in Los Angeles, in New York City, in Yuma, Arizona, to Billing, Montana. You're going to have a better life than you live in London, Ontario, or Kindersley, Saskatchewan. It's just the way it is. They've gone to that next level over here. They've built the infrastructure. They've made the investments in their communities. Schooling, education is second to none here in China now. When you hear that they're trying to save you from your government because your government is wrong in some way, or if you're an American, a Canadian, Australian, or whatever out there, and you hear all this rhetoric from your mainstream media, your government, that this communist government is doing something. How do I put this so that you can understand it? The Americans sanctioned the Uyghurs' cotton, tomatoes, their main products that are sold in Xinjiang province, because they say that there's slave labor in Xinjiang province. Well, what's going to hurt the Uyghur population more than sanctioning their products, making them poorer, giving them no hope for the future, throwing them back into an area that they're easily manipulated by terrorist organizations like ISIS and Al-Qaeda and whatever. So they're going the opposite direction. They're telling you one thing, and they're doing another thing, and they're putting it out there on mainstream media, and from politicians to the shittiest little dog-ass YouTubers in Southern California. And these people are sort of telling you what you need to think about the Chinese people and their government. It's all bullshit. I tell you, it's all bullshit. Look around me. Too many people? Not pretty enough? Look at that freaking tree over there. Holy lick. Let's go over there. I'll be right back. So when you hear people saying, I love the Chinese, but I don't love the Chinese government. The Chinese government is bad. You need to be saved. We are the white voice out there in the world, the white mainstream media, the white YouTubers. We know what's best for the Chinese people. We're crusaders for the Chinese people, because the Chinese people can't talk for themselves. The Chinese people have no voice. Basically like the black people, basically like the Hispanic people, basically like anything that isn't born with blonde hair and blue eyes. That sounds familiar, guys. But you see what's happening is these people think that they are the crusaders for the Chinese people. But really, they're not the crusaders for the Chinese people. They're the crusaders for their own agenda. And their own agenda is to knock China down because China is a main competitor to the Western world. The dominant countries, the Five Eyes of the world that have been dominant over the last 100 years, and they are scared shitless of China becoming the #1 country, both economically and probably militarily in the near future, because money talks, bullshit walks, guys, and that's the way it is. So when you see this, when you hear this, when you hear that sentence, I like the Chinese people, I love the Chinese people, but I don't like the Chinese government, turn that switch in your head and say, okay, now let's listen to what they're saying and make up your own mind about whether they're telling you the truth or whether they're fucking spinning you a lie, man. Because most every one of these people have an agenda. Either they're doing it for their country to be stronger than China, they're doing it for YouTube money, handout Patreon cash. The mainstream media is doing it because the person that owns that channel is a Democrat or Republican, or you know what I mean. They all have these agendas. Where you look at the Chinese government, it doesn't matter how big your company is. If you do not do what the Chinese government thinks is right for the people, like this monopoly thing with Alibaba, and they got like, oh, I don't even know, it's a big amount of a fine. So they look out for the small person here in China. They look out for the population of China. They don't look out for the big companies. The big companies cannot ban the president in China. Well, they're really not president, but you know what I mean. In China, from Twitter or Facebook, or you know what I mean. So it's a different world. The government actually runs the country and makes it better for all of the people. In the United States, the companies run the country, and they don't give a shit about the little people, but they do give a shit about the propaganda and the brainwashing that they do on you, the regular American, the regular Canadian, the regular British guy. And that's what's really screwing up this world right now, because nobody knows what's true and what's not true. Do you know that in China it is against the law to put out fake news? It is again. If you get caught putting out fake news, you'll go to frickin' jail. Anyway, that's another video from Gweilo 60 in a beautiful park here in Nanning, China, telling you that you gotta beware, because they're just looking out for your best interest. That's why they're called the free world. And we all know that's bullshit. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to resubscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. And whatever you do, guys and girls, don't forget to put a couple bucks in the children's Patreon account. It's for a good cause. Peace out. Bye now.